Hi, everybody. Welcome to the mob. It's Mob Guppy. Uh, so, musings from the fish room. It's Red Solo Cup time, everybody. And what do I have in my Solo Cup? Uh, Unfortunately, it's not booze, mainly because all of a sudden I'd be arguing with someone for no reason at all. So, no booze is good news for all concerned. I hope you had a great week. I've gotten a lot of stuff done in the fish room. Hey, Anthony's fish friends. Hey, Chewy. Daryl, how are you? So I've gotten through, and one of the things I wanted to sort of muse about tonight is live food. Now, I do not do brindle worms, vinegar eels, or micro worms. I do two things. One's frozen and one is live. I do baby brine shrimp. I probably hatch baby brine shrimp uh, 5, 6 days a week. I have some frozen Daphnia that I defrost, in a little specimen jar, and share that with the fish. In fact, I did that today because yesterday I was really busy at the office. Generally, it has to do with how busy I am at work, and I was up at 4 a.m. for work yesterday, and I'm going to be up at 4 a.m. coming up in the next couple of days. And so, Chewy, is a live Daphnia culture easy? I got the frozen thing. Hey, Melvin, how are you? Um, is that an easy culture? I keep hearing brindle worms are easy, vinegar eels are easy, and I probably should do them. It's just I haven't for whatever reason. So it's because I do guppies, baby brine shrimp is sort of the dog, and in my big 55-gallon tank where I have nano fish, they're all about the celestial pearl danios I got were tiny. Now, I had never seen one in person before I got them from my LFS, and these suckers were tiny. So I'm jamming them full of, either the Daphnia or the baby brine shrimp every day. They seem to be doing quite well with it. That's nice. Um, oh, Dr. Black, what's up, brother? How's it going in Australia? It's Chewy here in Canada, right? So we got Canada, we have Australia. Where else do we have people? We have people outside of Estados Unidos. That's a little Espanol for United States of America. All right. So, well, it's Father's Day, and happy Father's Day, Dr. Black, and to all my Aussie brothers and brothers, because Father's Day only goes to men. I have someone I know that all of a sudden made that announcement that he's going to become a woman, and this fellow's been married a couple of times, has a couple of kids. I don't get it. I don't judge. It's weird, and he's not going to be a good-looking woman. I love him. He's a good guy, and his wife's remaining married to him. So more power to him. Mazel tov. All right. Uh, so I guess women can be fathers. We live in a very interesting time, people, and it's all good. So whatever you want to call yourself, fine with me. All right, let's get back to fish. So I got my swordtail guppies. I'm waiting on some guppies from Doug Gray. I'm going to get some Roebuck Reds from him. And he said he's going to let me know when they're ready to go. So I'll be getting from them. I ordered some bronze Corys because I have the albino Corys. Aeneas, is that how you pronounce it? Corydorus Aeneas. I have 3 albinos, and I ordered 5 of the naturally colored, the wild variety of color of the Corydorus and Aeneas. Hey, Kendall, Otter Creek Aquatics, welcome to the house. By the way, is I didn't see notice from Jeff Rose, so we'll keep doing this. If Jeff Rose goes up, I'll stop because I support Jeff Rowe, but he has not been going live on Saturday nights lately. So I don't know why. I've dropped him a couple of notes. He hasn't written me back. Maybe he hates me, as they should. And I sent a note also to my best friend in the entire world. It's Corvus, and I haven't heard back from him. All right. Do I like half black AOCs? Yes, I do, Chewy. The deal is with guppies is that there's a lot of varieties I really like. I'm going to add more varieties when I buy a house. I just moved to the new city. I've rented a townhouse, and it's all good. Salty Reef, the Salty Reef's here. Hey, how are you? So I'll probably end up having 60, 70 aquariums in there, but I have to wait till I get the house. So right now I have 5 of my 10 up. My 30, 29 gallon I have to finish. I have water in it. I have it basically set up. I've got to add the sponge filter and the power and all that sort of stuff. Oh, that's cool. Is that in Canada, Chewy, or is that here in the States? Because, by the way, I was putting down on my page for a while, FishTube Nation. It's really FishTube World. I purchased my first strain of guppies, and I ended up I sold off a bunch. My LFS paid me pretty good money for them. I got my money out of them for my first couple of drops. I had some half black purples I got from Stephen Quartler. I really love them. The deal is with them is that I understand they're tough to show. By the way, that little black splotch you're seeing is Bolo, the Fishroom companion. And he's now eating. Oh, here he is. Let me lift him up for a second so you can see him. Here's Bolo. Oh, don't make any noises. Oh, good puppy. So, yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Chewy's talking about Stephen Quartler's guppies, and if you've not seen his guppies, Championship Show guppies, just Google that. You'll find him. He's got a bunch of strains. His AOCs are legend, absolutely legendary. And I'm going to go with there was a guppy breeder named Luke Roebuck who was beloved. If you're a member of the International Fancy Guppy Association, no one says anything bad about Luke Roebuck. He was beloved. He passed away all of a sudden, suddenly, I think it was relatively unexpected a few years ago. And his Roebuck Reds were famous. And there have been several breeders who have kept up the Roebuck Reds in memory of Luke, and I want to be one of them. So my 29 high is up, and I've got to add the sponge filter, get it bubbling. I'm not putting a heater because I am going to be putting in that aquarium. It's Amica Splendid, so I'm going to order those from our good guy Greg Sage of Select Aquatics, another great website to go. By the way, guys, someone wants to, if Daryl or Melvin, if either of you guys want to pop up Stephen Quartler's website and also pop up, the website, what was, the IFGA, so Kendall, you have 16 different strains in the fish room right now. You see, that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to buy the house, and I'm newly single, and I'm in a new city. So essentially, it's me, my dog, who's, as you can tell, just looking up at me lovingly, and my fish. I go to work, I come home, I go to the grocery store. I know no one in the area. I go to the fish club meeting in Fayetteville, and I go there. Uh, I go there once a month. It's second Saturday of each month, so it's about an hour away from where I'm at. So I go do that, and so I'm not totally a shut in. And I've got Bolo I have to walk, so that's good. The neat thing about hey, Fancy Tail Aquatics, welcome, welcome, welcome. Great having you all here, by the way, and thanks for chatting along in the deal. And what else can I tell you guys? I've just been, real busy getting everything up, getting the fish running. I swear to you, I don't know what kind of plant it is that I have in my 55. I got it from the Fayetteville Fish Club a couple of months ago. Paid $1 for a giant bundle, but it came with ram's horn snails and some pond snails, and I've been eliminating the pond snails. But I'm putting in the algae wafer for the super reds every day. And you know who's into the algae wafer? And maybe this a little bit. Hey, Cody-san, how are you? Welcome. And by the way, if you're here, make sure you say hi. I want to say hi, see who's here, and say hi to all of you. And I really appreciate having you about town. So so I got that thing that's growing out real nice. For the um, for the 29 gallon, I was told to do a couple of pots. So I moved the substrate, which was like a CChem substrate. I moved most of that into some pots, and I've got to pick up a couple of plants to put in it, get the bubblers a bubbling, and then order the Amica Splendens. It's and let it, I have to let this run for a few days just to get a little bit of, about a week to get everything sort of moving along. And so other than that, that's the sword-tailed guppies I got from Alan Bias. He sent me 2 strains, which is just crazy nice of him. I just said, and by the way, for those of you just start, hey, thanks, Daryl, for getting the IFGA website up there. If you're a guppy person and you're not a member of the International Fancy Guppy Association, try it out for a year. It's $25. They have a lot of great information on that website, and it's really, really good. I joined the Kansas City Aquarium Club. I may go up to one of their meetings here. Their meeting day, by the way, is the same day as the one in Fayetteville. So that's a little problematic, mainly because I could technically, hit them both, but I'd be on the road all day because Kansas City is about 180 miles from north of where I'm at, and Fayetteville is about 60 miles south. So they do like an 11 a.m. meeting, so leave first thing in the morning. I have to take Bolo the Wonder Dog, put him in daycare up there, go do the meeting, get Bolo, head home, walk him at home, set him up, and then drive to Fayetteville. That's a pretty big day. So I have to sort of choose which one I go to. And I went to their table sale, which was really good. Hey, Daryl, thanks again for getting up Stephen Quartler's website. And you guys want to go out and try that out. And I appreciate the likes. We've got 4 likes. We have 9 people in chat. If I can get a full 9 likes, it helps us in what we're doing. It's have we heard anything from Jeff Rose? Is he going live tonight? Let's see here. No, not that I'm seeing. I just went and took a look. If he is, let me know. Let's see. Chewy said there's also the World Guppy Association too. They have more classes and different rules for showing. As some strains have been bred in other countries uh, do not meet the IFGA standard. No, that's cool. And that's right. There's a bunch of different tails, and seemingly the only two tails that seem to work in IFGA are swords, both varieties, double or a single sword, and delta tails. And and delta tail seems to be that's sort of the IFGA game there. But I like swords. I'm going through it and enjoying it very much. Um, the other thing about about going out and I see all these different strains of guppies. And again, I don't know if you've watched, some of Doug Gray's or, well, Kendall for that matter. He has a bunch of different varieties of at Otter Aquatics. You can get all sorts of stuff there. Now, let me make sure I have Kendall's channel name right. And mainly because I feel like a moron. Fancy Tail Aquatics, Otter Creek Aquatics. You see, there you go. Hey, Pam, 54 Punchies here. Hey, Kevin's Aquariums, how are y'all doing? And no problem stopping in quickly before you have to eat dinner. I went through surgery. I had my gallbladder removed, and I didn't realize. I think my gallbladder had been bothering me for months and months. The one thing I have noticed is that I have had just a ravenous appetite since I recovered from the surgery. I want to eat all the time, which is problematic. I lost about 32 pounds over 1 year eating a modified vegan diet. I do eat meat. I eat fish once or twice a week. I have red meat once a week or chicken once a week. But essentially, what I had for dinner is I made tofu stir fry, with some sesame sauce on it, and with veggies and brown rice. And so I made like 3 dinners off of that. So that was all good, all the way around. The fun thing that we have here with this group of folks, by the way. Oh, by the way, Fancy Tail has some IFGA guppies, and some of the breeders are kind of what area of the country are you in, Fancy Tail? By the way, make sure you like each other. Hey, it's welcome, Scott, and really great having you. If it's you and Liz, that's great. Having you both here would be great. And so it's so that's sort of the deal. Yeah, some of these people are not all that friendly. Some are. I am told that if you're that, and again, if they all hate me, I don't care. I am in the understanding that the IFGA member club in New England is not very friendly. The Michigan folks are great. The Deep South Guppy folks are great. The Gageway, the one in St. Louis, it's I'm going to go up to do one of their meetings. They're kind of again, this may be part of the deal. I reached out saying, hey, I'd like to join. I'm 250 miles from you. I'd love to come up to a meeting. When do you have your meetings? Do I have to pay a fee to join the club? Yada, yada, yada. And they said, no, we just meet every once in a while. We'll let you know. I have never heard a thing. I wrote back to the guy a couple of times. Weird, strange. I don't get it. The Deep South Fancy Guppy Association, they're really nice folks. Where I moved to is that they generally meet in like Huntsville, Alabama, or Nashville and that type of area. That's too far of a, I'll go 6-7 hours in one direction to go attend a fish club meeting. I don't have a life except for my fish and my my little sissy dog. So that's all good. By the way, 12 people here. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for the 9 likes. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it very much. Hey, the Cove is here. Now the party started. Now the party has begun. So we have a whole bunch of Anna from the Cove is here. I mean, this is like a whole group of really cool people all in one place. Hey, Scott, King and Queen Cichlids, are you going live tomorrow night? And Dr. Black, are the Aussies going? Are you guys going live tonight? Aquamate, you and Thirsty Rabbit, you guys going live tonight? All right. Yes, Scott's going live tonight. Pam, when do you go live next? Let's plug it. And again, make sure you like each other and you subscribe to each other's channels. My whole deal here is that I believe in more. I don't think there's some sort of wacky limit. You know, there's in college, if you ever took economics classes in college, there are two main philosophies in American economics. There's Keynesian economics, which basically means more government regulation and control, and then there's the Adam Smith free market type of thing. And the free market sort of deal that everything is ever expanding. In Keynesian, it's if one man gets rich, another man gets poor. And man, I'm not trying to be gender exclusionary. One person gets rich, one person gets poor. I don't believe that. In fact, I think that everything is a very dynamic, growing thing. And with FishTube and with our hobby, it's not about excluding, it's about inclusion. It's about getting everybody involved, everybody to be a part of clubs, everybody to go through, hey, Haley's here, Oddball Aquatics. How you doing? Welcome. Great having you as part of the big channel. The idea here is that the more people involved, the more people in the clubs, the more people in the thing, allows our hobby to grow. And when you're around people who are exclusionary instead of inclusionary, you go out and you take away the opportunity to grow the hobby. I'm all about growing the hobby. I want as many people to have 50 aquariums in their home as humanly possible. Why? Because it creates, number one, we're able to save the cares fish. And I know a lot of you have these endangered fish in your fish room, and I'm going to do the same thing. I think it's really important for us all to help save species to where, in a lot of these places, like there's a lot of care species from Mexico. And I've been to Mexico. And by the way, I'm not exaggerating this. I've been to Mexico at least 40 times. And I have not been to the tourist places. My ex-wife was a Mexican gal. And we drove, and by the way, I don't say, don't ever drive Mexico without a Mexican with you that goes from there, because they go through. But I've driven all the way from Laredo down to Veracruz, and I've been all these things. And I would rather go see where the real people are than the tourist spots. I've been to Mexico City, at least 24 times. And, the idea here is that Mexico, they have a growing population. They have not done a real good job in protecting the environment. They also have not done a real good job in protecting waterways and water systems. And because of that, they've had a lot of wetlands dry up. So, people who have axolotls, more than likely they're extinct in the wild. And no, Chewy, you're right. Live bears and cichlids from Mexico do not get enough attention in the hobby. and most of them, a great deal of them at least, are in the CARES programs. That's why I'm getting the Amica Splendid. I think it's kind of a nifty looking fish, and I think that caring for it is going to be a helpful thing to about our hobby. D with Down the Wormhole has them. Again, they're just gorgeous fish, and that's the most important thing, is that we're here to go through there. And the other thing that goes in is to go out and Scott, I agree with you. So many people doing live streams. It's all good. It's better for the hobby, and the more we can encourage each other, the more that we can be patting each other on the back and helping each other, really is the best thing we can do for the hobby. Because the deal is, people surf YouTube, and all of a sudden maybe they have one aquarium in the house, and they all of a sudden accidentally come on a video that one of you guys puts out, and they go, wow, I've always wondered about that. And then you create a hunger in them for knowledge. And when you have a hunger for knowledge, people will go out and they'll go, okay, well, what kind of a fish is that? And they read up on it and go, wow, I'd really like to have that fish in my aquarium. I would really like to go through and keep that fish. What does it take? I'll tell you what, when I am interested in a fish, and I go through Aquabid about as much as anybody. I'm on Aquabid, I swear to you, a half hour a day. I mean, it's stupid how often I'm on Aquabid. I mean, I'm all over it. And as I go through Aquabid and learn all these different things, and all of a sudden I see a fish and I go, oh, wow. For my 55-gallon aquarium, yeah, by the way, I'm a member of the American Live Bear Association, and Andrew Pierkowski, is that how you pronounce his name? I apologize for not having that right. He has a lot of good idiots. You're absolutely correct, Chewy, and they're really, really nice. And I'm glad people are talking about axolotls, and I think they're very funky. And I'm sure as I add more aquariums, I'll have an axolotl aquarium or two. Why not? By the way, if you've not seen Haley at Oddball Aquatics, she's been doing this project with rope fish. It's so cool. I have seen a bunch of those videos, and it's very, very funky and very, very cool. And so I enjoyed that. And Scott with King and Queen Cichlids had a video out in the last day here where you got to see some Dovi and the real flower horn and some other cool stuff. He does a lot of cinematography. Now, I purchased a brand new camera, which I still haven't used in a Fishroom video. I purchased a Canon, and which is actually built for live streams. Am I live streaming with it now? No. But I've begun taking pictures of it and doing all that sort of thing. And by the way, yep, Fancy Tail Goodeids do not get the love that they deserve. They're fascinating fish. They're beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And and a lot of times, we get caught up into the idea when you go to fish stores, they sometimes don't have these rare fish, mainly because there isn't the demand for them, and it's really sad. I'm not anti-glowfish. Anybody who gets people into the hobby, it's good with me. I'm fine with it. And yeah, I joined the ALA, and I find getting information from them to be confusing. So I don't know if I'm going to re-up with them or not. We'll figure that out. But again, it's all good. And you filmed at the fish place and used 3 different cameras. Now there you go. I swear to you, I go through and look at camera equipment. I really like taking pictures of nature. And I have 2 really good lenses, but I need to get something that I like shooting birds, especially raptors, hawks, vultures, California condors. I'm a California condor nut. In fact, on Facebook, I run the California Condor Recovery Group. No, you don't have to join, but if you want to, please do. Mention in the thing that you saw the live stream here, and you'll be in. And a lot of the condor scientists. And the California condor was down to like 18 or 22 individuals at one point. Now they're at about 450. There's a real big problem with lead. Lead is killing most of the wild release condors. And so the switch over to steel bullets. Hunters, love lead. Yeah, that's what I got. I've got the Canon TI7, and that's what I got, Scott. And I got that just a couple of months ago, and it's great. I love it. I just haven't hooked it up yet for the live stream. We'll work on it. We'll get it going. I'll figure it out. I guess the other thing is, by the way, Oregon's up on Auburn, 7-0. I lived in Alabama for a period, and I did work with both Alabama and Auburn as part of what I do for a living. And no, I don't have a 500 millimeter, Anthony. I need to get that in a bad way, or something even bigger. I want, it's. I actually have gone cruising through pawn shops. And by the way, have you here's another Facebook group. And if one of you guys can get this up there, Michael of Michael's Fishroom and I, it's not a big group, but it's a good one. It's overpriced aquariums. And there are people on drugs selling used aquariums. So I am going through and again, do I really have room to put up another aquarium? No. Would I? Yes. And so I was going through Marketplace, and somebody was selling a new 29, which I really should get a second one of those for the Amica Splendids, and a 20 long. Who can't go without a 20 long? I don't have one. Well, they were selling it for more than what the Petco special was. And I reached out to him, and he goes, yeah, it's 40 miles to a thing. The extra $10 you pay me will go through gas and through, the sales tax. I'm going, no, I don't care. I'll drive it. My goodness. Red Solo Cup, everybody. You know what I have in the Red Solo Cup? This is how exciting I am. It's Diet Cherry 7-Up. About as exciting as it gets. Yeah, Fancy Tail. Yep. I used a 10-gallon for $40. And here's the other thing is that, they'll say to you, well, it comes with a heater. I'm not putting nobody's old heater in my aquarium. I'm throwing that out. And yeah, I'm not using your filter system either. I'm buying a brand new one. Why? I don't know what you've exposed that to. I have no idea. I have some hydrogen peroxide. I've labeled that down a little bit. I put a lot of water in a spray thing. I spray out the aquarium. I rub it down. Hey, Anna the Cove having a Diet Coke. And it's her hard stuff. And Anthony's fishy friends, agua. I just had agua. And so that's all good. And so my little dog is here. He's passed out. He's like all four. Let's see if I can get a shot of him here. So there he is. There's Bolo. I didn't disturb him. And so that's going on. So you go through and you see what people get and what they want to sell a used aquarium for. They are on frickin' crack. I swear to you. Oh, Scott, let me tell you, Bolo, he's going to be 12 years old in 8 days. He looks really good. He has a heart condition. Oh, let me go down the dog rabbit hole. He is because I went through some health issues. We missed out on his window to show him. Both of his parents were show champions, and in the toy breeds, that's highly unusual that the female is a show champion. So, and so Liz only wants old dogs. Well, Bolo would run your life. So I am. So I have. I had to be put on a waiting list. The female Pomeranian I'm getting is a puppy. I'm gonna have it around Christmas, and I'm gonna have to like drive to Wisconsin and back to get it. So that means I'll be leaving. I'll probably do it around New Year's, even day. I'll try to get that done. So I'm going to go and make that drive up there and pick her up. But Bolo's getting a little old, and I want some puppies from Bolo. So, and by the way, to get a high quality female Pomeranian, you have to have a references. I'm not kidding. And I met a couple of people, and they've been really nice to me. And she said, I told her I'm looking for a female for Bolo. And she said, oh, I know somebody for you. It has the right breeding. Okay, good. So I'm on the list. I've been accepted. The puppies are, I guess, due like late September, so they'll be ready around Christmas. And hopefully there's females, because Pomeranians only have 2, 3. If you, 4 if very, very unusual. So it's 2, 3 in the litter. So I'm freezing. This is how crazy I am, everybody. So don't judge. It's we all have our unusual peccadillos. I'm freezing my dog's semen. And because more than likely by the time she's ready to have puppies, he's no longer going to be with us. So I'm going to freeze it and then have her artificially inseminated and keep a puppy from it. And so that's sort of what I'm going to do. Bolo is the funny thing about Pomeranians. I'll drop the dog talk. Let's get back to fish. Well, Pomeranians are sort of like guppies in a way, and I'll explain why. Pomeranians come in like 12 colors. And it's and the black and tan, which Bolo is, my dog is, that's a recessive gene. His mother was red, his father was orange. Thus, black and tan. So that's how it works. All right, so let's get with the guppies again in growing the hobby. And by the way, guys, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And again, thanks for all the likes and the shares, and I really appreciate it. This is my third foray into the live stream, and am enjoying it very, very much. And hanging out with quality people like you is what it's all about. All right. You go through and look at the used aquarium scam. I swear to you, people, I saw somebody, they put down all the prices of the thing, including like the rocks, the substrate. Again, another rule. I buy a used aquarium. You know what I do with that substrate? I throw it away. I'm not interested in used substrate. I'm not interested in used decorations. Unless it was like a Millennium Falcon. That Millennium Falcon thing, I'd probably clean that up real nice. But generally, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in your used canister filter. Just not. And so someone went through and they actually priced everything out on a 55. And they priced it out, like retail, not buying anything smart, not going to eBay or Amazon, going to, Petco or PetSmart and buying everything at full price. And I just said, I can put that aquarium together for half the price you're asking. Half. So I will pay, they want $400 for the stand, 55 cover. I told them that I could do it for 200, which I can. And you guys know you can too. And I just sat there and I said, I'll give you 100. And they went the guy cussed at me. He said I was a bleeping bleep hole. I was bleeping. Okay. So that's how that works. So I sometimes I like to troll these people. I know that's hard to believe. I like to troll them. Excuse me as I have a sip from my solo cup. I troll away on these people. And yeah, by the way, Fancy Tail, that's right. I'll sell a 20-gallon tank and a glass lid for $20. That's fair. Exactly. Exactly correct. HC Aqua. Hey, welcome. Or Agua. Agua. And okay, Bolo wants to get down. Let me show you. He's going to get down. He's either going to go and he likes to hide out in a closet. And it's not that hot today here. It's only like in the 70s. But he just stretched out on the linoleum flooring. Can someone say linoleum? And yeah, Haley, you're right. The bad part is someone getting into the hobby will see what and think it's a great deal because they don't know what they need and assume everything is all there and they can just start right up. You're exactly correct. Hey, Bolo, settle. No, by the way, my little dog, he's not barky. This is very unusual, so I don't know what's bugging him. He's hearing something. He's looking out like the back door, and maybe there's somebody walking back there. But he's really not even that, protective. So it's like if somebody knocks on. Well, I ordered a pizza the other day, and the person rang the doorbell, and he just laid there. I had to go out. No, he's looking out the back window, the back door here, and which is locked, of course. And I have like his grooming table, which I use for Fishroom stuff. And underneath it, I have like a tub that's filled with Fishroom stuff and a printer. And so that's how that goes in and how that works. By the way, we have 15 folks here. Make sure that if you have not subscribed to each other, please do. It's all about growing the fish fam here. That's why we do this. And really cool channels going on here. So make sure you've subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed to the Mob Guppy channel, please do ring that bell. Ring it good. And for fresh content. And I have not done my video yet for tomorrow. I'll have to figure that out. I've been meaning to. It's this week at work was just unbelievable. And then I got a call The operation that I do, the business is and I'm a manager. And so it's up 24/7. And one of my people who was there on the weekend started having computer issues. So I had to go in and sort of play around with it. And since I'm new here and I've worked with this computer program before, but I've not really gotten into it, mainly because everyone does their work and I don't worry about it, they've been using it wrong. And so I'm going to have to fix everything on Tuesday. So my IT guy had to go in and then make a call to make a call to the software company, and the software company found a corrupted file, which, by the way, they had to erase. There's work in there in this corrupted file that's shared among my staff. And so they're going to try to recreate it and have it in on Tuesday. Well, the deal is I need this like tomorrow. There's some operations on Monday, not a lot. But Tuesday, we're back, there's people in my office starting at like 7 a.m. So it's got to be and I can't have them waiting around, waiting for data and trying to work around stuff to get projects done. So that's why I don't have a new video ready for tomorrow, but I will. I'll create one. It just won't come out at its normal time. And let's see what else is going on in the conversation here. Let's see here. And sorry about calling DirecTV. The building I moved to demanded that said that I could only work with one of the local cable companies. I could not have a dish. I could not have DirecTV. And now I will say this: the internet is frickin' blazing fast. I mean, blazing fast. And I do a lot of video and audio production for my work, and I do a lot of freelance stuff. Primarily with audio. I do voiceover. So I have like a studio to do voiceover. I have a $400 microphone. I mean, it's and sometimes I will voice over a fish tube video and just go in right from there. So so it's all good. Wow, gang. Thank you guys so much. 13 here, 13 likes. Hey, thanks for coming, Haley. Go play with that toddler and have fun with your little kid. She's great. I love seeing her pop in and out of the videos. And Lucas's little kid, Wesley. I really enjoy seeing the kiddos. And by the way, there are people who raise their children not around fish. And just think how sad that is. By the way, how old were you when you got your first aquarium? Just your first fish, your first aquarium. How old were you? I'm just curious. I got a goldfish at the age of 4. And that goldfish was with me till the age of 10. And start off with the normal bull thing, and no problem, Scott. Thanks for coming. King Queen Cichlids, thank you so much. And Scott got his when he was 12, 6 years old for Chewy. And for Christmas, when I was 5 years old, there was a 15-gallon aquarium in sort of the rumpus room in the basement that had a TV. And it had basically what you'd call nanofish in it. It had gold tetras, had a couple of cories, had I think some zebras, really, really cool stuff. By the way, we're 49 minutes into this thing. I can stay a little bit longer. You guys let me know. Don't feel obligated to stay, but feel obligated to like and share. So there you go. That's all I want is likes and shares and promotion. I'll stay here for for at least the next 15, 20 minutes. And we may go longer. You know why? I have nothing going on. The only thing I could be doing is I could be finishing the setup on my 29 gallon. But I've got tomorrow and I've got Monday. I'm new to town, don't know anybody. I haven't been invited to a barbecue. Uh, so, uh, so I think, by the way, for tomorrow, or on the deal, trying to again continue to eat healthy. I think on Monday I'm going to have salmon, and so there you go. Um, let's see. Anybody in the group? Oh yeah, anybody in South Carolina, Florida, Georgia right now in the path of this hurricane? Way to bring that up, Fancy Tail. That's really cool. That's a really good thing to bring up. Uh, I know a lot of people in Florida. I have my cousin Ryan works for NASCAR, and he lives in Daytona Beach. But more than likely, he's wherever the NASCAR race is this week. That's where he is. More than likely, he gets like during race season. I think it's like every fourth race or fifth race. He's not he doesn't have to go to where they're going. So it's oh, so you're okay, Daryl. So your daughter lives on the east coast of Florida. That's where it's going to be. It looks like at least I looked a while ago, and it looked like it the storm was going to head north and be a Cat 5 and hit Savannah and Charleston. So Charleston especially would be terrible because Charleston's sort of like New Orleans. I mean, it is pretty close to sea level, has a lot of older homes. It's I had an interview in Charleston probably about 10 years ago. I was down there for a job interview, and they have some of these old houses that are sort of leaning a little bit, and these are houses probably from the time of the Revolutionary War. I mean, really, really a cool place. It's a beautiful city. And I have some friends who have a place on Kiowa Island. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. That South Carolina, by the way, is a very underrated state. The upstate is gorgeous. Savannah, Georgia. By the way, I'm going to tell you something. I lived in New York for a period. So I know something about a good piece of pizza, a good slice, as they would say in Jersey and New York. Um, I walked into uh, by accident driving through Savannah, pulled off and walked into a pizza joint, near the pier in Savannah, and it was one of the best slices of pizza I have ever had. And I mean, it was really, really good. So keep those folks in your thoughts and prayers. Hopefully, hopefully this thing just stays out at sea and heads out to the Atlantic, and that would be really, really nice. And I have some friends who live in West Palm Beach. I have, and again from there. Okay, Bolo. So Bolo's here. He wants to come back up, but he plays a game. He comes, he scratches my leg. Then he runs away. He does not jump up. Oh, now he laid down. Okay. I'll ignore him. Now I want to go through. I've been to a lot of Florida. I've not been to Miami, and I have not been to Tampa. I've been to Jacksonville, Orlando, Pensacola, or as we like to call it here in this neck of the woods, the Redneck Riviera, Destin. And by the way, it's in the Midwest. There's sort of the same type of version of that. It's called the Wisconsin Dells. sort of the it's hey, thanks for being here, Dr. Black. Enjoy Father's Day shenanigans. And it's Father's Day in Australia. Well, happy Father's Day to all my Aussie buddies. One of my high school buddies, she married an Australian, and from Sydney. He's like some muckety muck at one of the universities, and she unfortunately got cancer and passed away. Really a great person, and they're in Sydney. He and his kid and their kids are in Sydney, and just wonderful people, just really good people. I love the Aussies; they're just great. And I have a buddy named Simon when I was in New York who was an Aussie. Great guy. I mean, fun. It's all good. Um, it's going through the hurricane stuff. I know that people in Puerto Rico, because it took so long for power to get on. I know a lot of people who were guppy breeders. They were having real issues with a lot of people lost fish and lost their fish room because no power, no nothing for a while. It's and anyone who's in that in the thing of this has got to be really uh, in the path of this. Got to be really worrisome. Um, in the whole natural disasters thing. And by the way, I'm not trying to make light of a natural disaster. Come on, Bolo. Come on. Here's his favorite toy, by the way. See, it's got. You want to come up? You want to come up? He hasn't figured out linoleum. This is the first time he's had linoleum in the living room. And he's had obviously in kitchens and bathrooms, all that sort of stuff. And he'll all of a sudden go on a big, he'll all of a sudden lose footing on the linoleum, and he slips and falls. Okay, come on. Come on. Ah. And here he is. Hanging out, sitting down. The shenanigans go on. Oh, he's a good dog. So let's see. Well, we're just about at an hour. Gang. Melvin, your grandfather had aquariums. Yeah, one of my mom's best friends, from her like childhood and college, her husband had a fish room when I was a little kid. When I first had my fish, and I remember going to it with my jaw agape. Absolutely. My dad really enjoyed the fish, but for whatever reason, he was culturing, brine shrimp. He kind of dug it. But as time went on, he didn't get more aquariums, which, he kept the dog thing going on. He always had a dog or a cat. So it's all good. Well, gang, I want to thank you guys very much for being a part of Mob Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. Make sure you subscribe to each other. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and ring that bell. Ring it good. And tomorrow I'll have a video prepared at some point. I have to run some errands in the morning. Go to my house of worship, and I have to go to the office at some point because of this shenanigans. By the way, the word shenanigans is a good word. Really a good word. All right. See you guys later on. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Melvin. Thank you, Fancy Tail. Thank you, Chewy, Dr. Black, King and Queen, Daryl Deemer, Pam, 54 Punchy, The Cove, everybody who was here. Thank you guys so much. Bob Kaler, he's here. We're leaving, Bob. But don't worry, we'll do this again and again. Thank you for stopping. Thank you, Anthony's fishy friends. I really appreciate all of you, and have a great day.